Howdy, folks. So I learned tarot, and I wanted to talk about it because I got real fascinated with it. So, first 10 of the major arcana are correlated with all the like fours and the minor arcanas, four cups, four blah blah blah, but like all of them. I'm going to be talking about the four though, right? Which is ruled by the emperor. So we understand the emperor to be the stabilizer, right? The delegator. He's over discipline, stability. Kind of like when the emperor brings in the abundance, whether it be, actually bringing in money or giving birth to children. It is the emperor that delegates that. Also being disciplined with where the money is spent so that more is not leaving than what is coming back. The person who is stern with boundaries. So through the different energies, as far as the different suits, you get to see the different ways that this stabilizer manifests. So we can start off with the Four of Swords, right? Because we understand that when it comes to the sword suit, they say that less is better and more is kind of worse, and four is on the lesser, more side. But if you know the actual story of the sword suit, you start off with getting an idea, and then when you go to the Two of Swords, right? The Two of Swords is kind of not wanting to make a decision from this information that you learned. And usually the decision is pretty similar in outcomes, whether it be two really good outcomes or two really bad outcomes. But you still got to make the decision because you're going to be stopping moving forward in your journey if you don't, right? And so the Three of Swords is when you finally decide, okay, I'm going to open my eyes to this information, and you feel hurt. It's usually of heartbreak and deceit. So when you get to this Four of Swords, this is you finally stabilizing these emotions. So if you actually look at the Four of Swords, I don't know what it's called, but essentially during medieval times, before soldiers would go out to war, they would make their bed, literally like build their coffin. And if they were to survive that battle and make it back, they'd spend days in that cemetery, sleeping on their coffins, kind of reflecting on all that they've gone through. That's the Four of Swords. It's trying to find a way to discipline your thoughts. But then you go to the Four of Wands. Now, people don't really see the Four of Wands as more is worse. I do. Because I think that the story of the Wands suit is really to teach you that passion can be good and can bring you a lot of prosperity. But too much passion can really leave you scared of the way other people's passions can affect you, because you know the way your passion has affected them, and that's what led you to dominance. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the Four of Wands right now. So the Four of Wands is known to be the stability, right? So Wands is over work and passion. Let's say the Ace of Wands is God giving you an idea and the passion to go behind it. So then you go to the Two of Wands. Two of Wands is when you are trying to figure out what you're going to do with that passion. How are you going to allow for that passion or work to work for you? You know what I'm saying? So that's the card of contemplating over your passions, right? The Three of Wands is after you do the work, and you're either you're waiting for your ships to come in so you can do the work with it and multiply, or you're waiting for your ships to go out so that eventually you can get back what you're putting out. Either way, it's still waiting. But it could be before or after the work. So when you get to the Four of Wands, this is when that work come through and you finally have that stability. People tend to celebrate, but it's still a very fresh, stable feeling. We also want to think about the fact that because it is the Four of Wands, when you properly are disciplined and are properly allocating your passions and your work ethics, then it'll create stability. I feel like after the Four of Wands, it doesn't get good. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't get good after that. Now we can get to the Four of Cups. Now I love to talk about the Four of Cups in relation to the Emperor card. And the reason why is because if you look at the beginning of the Cups suit, you have the Ace of Cups. So it's God coming and he's giving you a cup of love, right? And so that cup of love is infinite love. You are love. You know what I'm saying? So you go on, and you go to the Two of Cups where you find someone else who also got some love that they got from God, and you guys decide to intertwine those loves, to find a common ground in that love so that you can create bonds, right? The Three of Cups is you realizing how great it is to have these beautiful relationships, and you start building it and celebrating with others, and that's what it means when you're in that abundance and love, right? Because the three is over the Empress, right? So that's abundance and fertility. So you out here and you just building relationships. You got relationships left, right. That's the Three of Cups, right? This right here is when after that high falls, and you get to looking at those ecstatic relationships you done built, and you like, either this ain't crap, or I don't know if anything could really top this. But either way, those are feelings that arise from lack, right? And so a lot of times with strength and discipline can come stubbornness and frugality. And that comes from lack mindset. Yes, you can be frugal. Yes, you want to make sure that you're allocating things properly, but you don't want to be so stingy with the way that you allocate things to the point where you're giving off energy that you don't have enough, right? So when you get into that Three of Cups energy of, oh my God, these relationships aren't enough, or oh my God, I don't know if relationships can really top this, you need to understand that you come from a God that is infinite love. So you're going to have that fourth cup that's always going to be there. And so essentially, the way that you have a stable understanding around your emotions is understanding that you come from infinite love. You will always have access to infinite love. And anytime that you decide that you're going to ponder and sulk in this idea that there is any sort of lack energy when it comes to love, you're going to forever be overlooking what is always going to be there. The Most High's love is always going to be there. It's the sun. You know what I'm saying? Every time you may not see the sun, but you know the sun is there, because that's how you can tell the difference between the day and the night. So that sun is going to be there, and that sun is going to be love, right? So you can always pull down from the Most High God's infinite banking of love, and that's how you master stability in your emotions. Last but not least is the Four of Pentacles. Now people see this as the stingy king, right? Because this is the stabilizer of material matters. So we're gonna go through the journey up into the four, right? So God gives a low penny. That's a small investment of however many $1 million, or whatever the saying is. Anyways, that person takes that money, right? And they're like, wow, so I did something else to make me money, and I realized that this money could make me more money, right? So that's how we get to the Two of Pentacles. But I don't really know now that I know that things can make me more money. I'm not sure because I'm so scared. I don't know. When I only got two, so the decision that I'm going to make is going to, so I'm not sure if I want to make that decision. That's the two. So we going to keep switching between this and that, or we probably juggling two different things that might bring us in money in hopes that one of them is finally going to flip and we going to get to that abundance, right? And then you get to the Three of Pentacles, when you're kind of taking advice from others while you really spend your time building up the stabilizer of that pentacle. It's the work of bringing in expertise from others and taking in scholarship so that you can build up your material world, right? But then you get to this Four of Pentacles, and this Four of Pentacles is when you finally get that stability and you like, God damn. And you realize, okay, so I've had to deal with the confusion of the Two of Pentacles, right? I've had to deal with the blessing but still scarcity of the One of Pentacles, even though it had infinite potentiality because there was so much that I can do that could both help and hurt me, right? And then I also had to deal with all the learning and all the hard work of the Three of Pentacles just to bring in the abundance, the very manual abundance of material gain. I don't know. And then you get to this Four of Pentacles, so that, we tired. We know how much work it takes to get these pentacles, right? So I'm going to be very, very careful in how I allocate these pentacles. But like I said before, frugality, when it's excessive, can absolutely communicate lack. And that can mess up your money. That can mess up your money. And what happens when you get to the Five of Pentacles, y'all? What happens when you get to the 5? Anyway, so that's just what I wanted to talk to y'all about.